Alright, so we are back again for payout request number 2 on this challenge. So it's huge, super blessed. As we were saying yesterday, we did hit 2.8k across the 3 accounts. So 2 of them hitting day 5, 1 now hitting day 6, I think. Might be day 7 if it's the first account that I had. So anyway, coming down, requesting half of this amount. So 3.3k US on the first one, which is huge. We're gonna submit this. Beautiful. Then I'll fill in the details for the other one. We have our second account here, a little bit higher, 3.4 on this second one. All up 6.7k USD withdrawal request. Super blessed with that. I've just got to change my last name and we'll submit this. Alright, beauty. Everything's all good to go, and we're going to submit this one too. Payout request done. Cool. We'll jump into the charts now and see what Thursday has in store for us. We are back. We've locked out the 2 accounts that we're requesting the payouts from. Just going to make that a consistent thing going forward, just to make sure the balances, because I usually go for the max amount that's available. So I really can't afford to even lose $1 off these. We've got our new combine, which we did pass yesterday as well, which is huge. So another combine to add. We got 5 funded accounts now. We've still got this poor little guy that wasn't able to come along yesterday. He definitely would have been wiped out if that was the case. So I think it was a wise decision to lock that one out. I'll wait till the kill zones to trade this one, and I'll just trade it individually. I'll take this one off the follower account. Just give me 2 secs. Okay, cool. We've taken that off the follower. It's just these 2 accounts now. The new one that's just been funded, the follower account that we had yesterday, got all the way down to 800. We got it back to 4.6. So got a bit of buffer room to work with again now, which is great. Targeting all-time highs now. We had Nvidia earnings be 5.8% above the expected. Something stupid of 35 billion or something like that for the total revenue, which is just nuts. But right here, we're approaching a 5-minute BISI after wicking all of this. So I really wouldn't want to see all of these lows get taken. We do have gaps that we could come down and retry, especially after this massive wick. Looking like we're going to continue to the upside. So just checking to see where a good entry point is going to be. So we've got a 1 minute as well. So this was our 5-minute BISI. And delete the 15. We just obliterated straight through. And we also have a 1 minute BISI in here as well. Realistically, we could just put a limit here in between the 2 of them, which is more than likely what we're going to do. Make sure we're on the leader account. We're going to start off a little bit smaller with the risk. Stops at this swing low right here. And we'll just wait and see. There is this 1 minute below us, but I do think it's quite steep to get all the way there. So let's just have a look. We've had all the order flow overnight to indicate more than likely where we're going to go. We had that big downward move at 8:30, and we look to be erasing essentially all of that. Got this little gap in here, which I think we'll find a little bit of resistance with, but apart from that, just leave everything as is. This 15 is closed quite bearish though, so that is a little bit worrying, but we'll just come back to the lower time frames here. Yeah, we'll split the charts up and see how we go here. Beautiful start to the day, super blessed. Let's get it. I was basically just saying that because the 3-minute, we tapped it, but then we kept hovering around this area, more than likely we're going to go lower. It's only when you see a reaction like this, we go down, a lot of buyers step in, then hopefully on this 1 minute, we completely close above this, and that will be another signal for me to add more. Stops could really even go like here at that point if we see what we need to see. There is some pretty steep momentum to the downside here, but yeah, pretty confident we shouldn't be getting below back here, especially since we've already tapped and tried this. So that's our confirmation. See if we can tap into here just for a little bit of a better entry. We're going to double the size if we can get there. Doesn't look like it. So we're just
Order
going to enter
filled.
in straight away. Manage our risk appropriately. We will keep this just because 50% of this wick hasn't been tested yet. Just checking a higher time frame. You might come down, take these lows, fake people out, and then go. Keeping your stops in a protected area to give you enough room is super helpful as well. Willing to risk 3 on this trade here. TP going back to all-time highs. I want to see if we didn't take London highs yesterday. So I will mark that and we'll look to partial if we can get up here. Key zones, I'll make that red. My mic is really having some issues here. It just wants to move by itself. So yeah, we got London highs here. Take 2 off there. Still have those daily civvies that we were talking about before as well. So we'll take 1 off at each of these spots. And I'm just going to work on doing that a lot more. Just taking those partials. So for civvies, I want to make them blue now because I know that they're going short. So we got daily. And that leaves us with 2 lots left if we can get up to equal highs. So pretty tight stop in here. Just saying we might come down, test 50% of this big wick. Might look to stop out just a little bit early here. So I think we'd gone for the volume imbalance here. I'll go back to the scalping strategy that we had before. We've been having some really high success with that. So just keeping our 15 on the left and then our 5 on the right. We did get in a bit early. We tried to use the same methodology, but on the 1 minute. There's sometimes a lot of noise on those smaller time frames. It looks really good and it's still presenting the setup, but you want that higher time frame confirmation for sure. See how this 5 minute wants to close on us. Still respecting this 5 minute BISI is labeled. Get rid of this as we've already filled it. And we're just seeing if we're going to respect now in the next minute or so. Okay, so in a bit of drawdown, we did push past lower. And again, as I was saying, I should have waited for the 15 and the 5. I shouldn't really be going any lower apart from pyramiding in my positions on the lower time frame. But ideally, we get like a nice reject, and I still want to close bearish on this 5 minute candle. And then the next 5 minute candle, we eclipse it with lots of buying momentum. That's ideal what we'd want to see. I will just adjust my stops to where we had them originally at the bottom of this. And I'm promising myself now, it's live, I'm not moving that stop loss until we can get above this high. And then we'll look to move it in case you want to bounce off this CB and push lower. That's the only reason. So if we take this high right here, but for now, I'm just going to set everything where it needs to be and not touch it. Wait for this 5 minute closure, see where we're at. If we come back and close here, I don't see any issue in adding a bit more. The model presents, we're going to take it. We'll check in with you guys in a bit. Unfortunately, we did get stopped out. We're now going for this 1 minute BISI, which is what I have my eyes on. There's still 50% of this wick, so we're just going to wait to see the pattern again. Down closure of the wick, and then bullish momentum closing above 50%, and we'll look at the 1 minute on the side here just for confirmation. Max I want to lose for the day is probably going to be around that sort of 600 mark. We'll try another 200 risk trade, and then we'll try one more 200 risk trade if we can get it. It is Asian session though. The reason I'm looking at this trade is to catch the move that runs up for all-time highs. We were saying either yesterday or today, I think, with the news out, and we also have 11:30 unemployment news today. That could be the catalyst that pushes us over. Ideally, we can get in low in Asia. It runs up. We have a nice buffer. All the way in Asia, we'd be wanting a bit of an expanding move in London. Otherwise, more than likely, we're going to see what we saw yesterday. We're approaching this 1 minute BISI now. We will see what happens. All right, we're back at that 1 minute BISI right now. But we've had a very steep down close candle on this 5 minutes. So I'm not going to be jumping in just yet until we can take this high as well with a bit of displacement. We might just floor through based on the activity and volume in this 5-minute candle. All right, guys, we are back. That limit order was a perfect entry for us. This is our entry candle. Stops can go below this low for now. We've had a similar reaction again on the 5-minute. We've dipped down a little bit. Strong bullish closure here. So this is actually where I'm going to looking to add more into the trade here, but ideally I should be waiting till this high is taken. So we're just going to wait for a market structure shift if we can get one. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if we close bearish. Stops can actually go break even here. Not anticipating price to come much lower than this, and we did see on the lower time frames. So especially because we downtrend for now, we haven't got above this high. It's definitely likely that these lows can be ran through. So just gonna put stops here. Get stopped out and we bounce here, then we just get back in. But it seems unlikely as well, given the few closures we've had and this market structure shift on the 1 minute, taking out this liquidity, running, closing above this swing high, then looking for about 50% of this move, which might be under these equal lows right here, this pocket, or maybe it taps into here and continues. I'll be eyeing this as a spot to add on. Let's draw a quick Fibonacci as well. Pretty sure we removed the volume on that side too. But 50%, yeah, is about here. All right, it's looking like this 5 minutes going to close pretty bearish after all these wicks. So I'm going to close out the trade here. At the end of this 30 seconds, we'll just see. Might bounce off VWAP and close bullish, but more than likely we're going to be closing out the trade. This is just the strategy I'm going to employ for scalping. Ideally, the entry that we want as well would be this low right here, this 15-minute low, or this 15-minute even better. Just because we've got Asian session low here, which is susceptible to be taken. Even though we're very close to the highs, I don't think this is where we might just start melting. So rather than being stopped out, see if we can push up just a little bit.
Order filled.
That will do us right there. And we'll probably look to come out. That's our Asian session trade. Took that first unnecessary loss by getting him way too early once again. So I'm literally just going to stick to having the 15 and the 5 and just working with that. That seems to be going really well. And we'll see if this wants to melt to the downside a little bit and close around Asian session low. To be honest, this is a short right here.
Order filled.
I need to change my limit parameters. We don't want to be above Asian session high, targeting at least this low resistance liquidity here. Then look to have one order in here, and then we'll have two at this BISI right here. Seeing if there's any other accounts we can trade with. We have this express with only 280. So I want to wait till at least a London session, or if we can get down to these lows before entering on that other account. Based on what I'm seeing here, it's looking like we could get displacement to the downside. Swatching with these 15-minute closures, we're closing bullish, but then dropping back every time, and we're not continuing. Asian session high here as well, so hopefully we just leave. So we're outside of the Asian kill zone now. Midnight open has occurred, and we're just going to let this one run. I'm not even bothered if this comes and takes our high. We'll be back at what we started with essentially for the day. So our stops here. The stop that will be down 200 for the day, but that's fine. And then hopefully we can run and take all of these lows after taking Asian session. Probably like if we draw our box actually, from here to here, Just looking at standard deviations of the range. So if we draw this, there's one standard deviation which falls quite nicely in line with these levels here as well. Happy with that for the time being. Just gonna let the trade do what it needs to do. Come check on it in a bit. We just wicked the highs. Oh no, actually, sorry. This is here. We've wicked, and then this reaction has just been nuts. Asian session low, we've wicked, but we haven't closed below. We just have to wait and see. We're back on sitting. She's just chilling. We're definitely looking for shorts right now, as that's at the moment. You want to see what's going on? She's having a very sucky day today. I think she's gone through a regression today. So basically, just no matter what you do, she's gonna be sucking. She's gonna be upset. Since this morning, she's been right. Okay. I'm liking that we're not closing below Asian session low on the 5 minute here, but just that displacing downward counter is a little bit worrying. So I'm just gonna wait till 3. Hopefully something becomes a little bit more clear. Still eyeing all-time highs at the end of the day. We're just gonna wait and see here. Let's have a look. See if we bounce off the Asian session high. If we do, we can look to get a continuation to the downside here. That candle is just incredible. See if we eclipse it or whether we want to honor the order flow here to the downside so far. See if we respect the 2 p.m. order flow. To be fair though, she's done pretty well. She hasn't slept all day. No naps, no nothing. So maybe someone is just overtired. I have a feeling that's what it is. Alright, let's see if we find some support here. On the 1 minute, we're seeing a nice reaction, and this 15 minute is going to close pretty heavy as well. So we're going to enter in here.
Order filled.
Really need to adjust that risk. I'm just about 150 here. Above these highs. Yo, G, what's good? Oh, what's happening? You still trying to? Yeah, I'm in a trade literally right now. I just got in. Yeah, John's down. Okay, huge. I'll try to pull up because if we have a good session today, I probably won't trade tomorrow just to not be greedy. Yeah, huge. That might be the way to run it. And you're just making music? Yeah, I'll quickly ask. I'll get back to you and John ASAP. Right. Speak soon. Peace. This is my really good. Been friends with them for a few years now. Always playing basketball and making music. You got to have some close knit friends that ground you. I think that's super important, especially when you're doing something as stressful as trading. And so you don't get carried away with the money too. I think that's important. Nice reaction off the 15-minute here. We boost back to the 5-minute. Wanting to see, especially after this wick, we get a strong downward closure here on this candle in 2 minutes. And if we do get that below 50%, then we're going to add 3 more, put our stops here, and hopefully let this thing ride to our entry points down here. So we'll go halfway through in between. Still got unemployment news today at 9:30 or 8:30. Just double check US time. We got 11:30 my time unemployment claims. We just want to make sure that we get the closure, because again, we could just eat up all of this in the last 30 seconds and then you're caught offside. So we're just going to wait for this to close. If it closes pretty strongly, then we can look to double the risk. Ideally, we'd want stops to be a break even if we can hit this point. I've got a line, a bit messy actually. All right, 3 seconds. Beautiful.
Order
We get the
filled.
closure. Add a bit more in. Stops are going at this height right here. So I'm just going to let the trade breathe for a little bit if we can. Stops to break it. We just hit 3 o'clock as well. So we'll see if we melt through this or whether we want to find a bit of support. Might drop down to the lower time frames on this one. Oh, they're both 5-minute charts. Nice closure on the M15 here. Respecting this order flow. Definitely looking to see if we can take out these lows. We did take Asia session highs first. We've done pretty much what we did yesterday where we wicked both sides. It looks like we're actually going to get some displacement during London. I'll just chop. But who knows? If we bounce up here and just hold, it's going to be pretty similar to yesterday. Everyone's waiting for news and the real move actually goes. So I don't like that we flipped bullish from that. But it's okay. Still got a very long time for this candle to close. Watch the smaller time frames, see if we're going for any FEGs. There is one there, but not liking it too much. Seeing if we can test this wick. There is another FEG, pretty much at the Asian session. So we'll see what price wants to do here. Whether we hold to the downside now or whether we just boost up and explode. This move is going to have to be pretty steep to the downside. If it gets stopped out, I'm more than likely inclined to flip bullish here.
Order filled.
Push up. See if it might have just been a liquidity grab. Nah, I think we absolutely explode to the upside now. So just looking for a place to re-enter long. I think this might just absolutely explode without us here. Got yesterday's London highs in sight. See if we can get some sort of pullback. Ideally in this pocket here. Still respecting here for the time being. Want to see that disrespected. Yeah. And look to see if we can find some support. So we're entering straight away back in here. Going to switch this down to 1 lot because we have used a fair bit of this up. See if we can get a closure here. The last few seconds. Be ideal just for a re-entry. And just making sure that we're not moving past this with displacement back to the downside again. It could have just been a liquidity. We do close above here though. On the one, let's see if we react if we hit here. I don't mind if it drops a little bit lower because we still have this 5-minute BC. But we've hit off here. See how far up I'm gonna go. I like
Order
that
filled.
reaction already. Yes, I think stops are in a logical spot right here. This makes sense to me. Still targeting all-time highs. Then look to add in another 2 if we can get down here. Let the trade do what it needs. Looks like buying momentum is still holding strong for the time being here. To get above here though, so it's not looking ideal. We've just been tapped into added 2 size. So we're just gonna adjust stops just a little bit. Looking at a daily time frame here as well. Anticipating this bottom wick is about 50% of the daily wick from yesterday. So after yesterday's price action, I'm definitely expecting higher prices. News coming out today, hopefully we get that pump. That is scary. That is so scary. I will keep stops at this low. I wouldn't want us to come past that 50% once again here. So looking for hopefully a smaller pocket of support in a fair value gap here to take this higher. Approaching 4 as well, so usually we have that reversal at 4. But then again, we still have these 15-minute bissies below us as well. See if we want to respect, but that is pretty gnarly right to the exact point. Yeah, I'm just watching the 15, seeing if we can close above here the next 10 minutes or so. I'm just going to watch if there are any pockets that we're running for on a lower time frame. Alright, so we're at a 1 minute FEG right there. There's another one in here. These stops look quite nice to keep there. Happy with this trade, to be honest. I'm probably actually going to take this on this small account. Obviously just risking 1.
Order filled.
Well, my risk is still at 500 here. And stops just here. And we're still going to obviously target all-time highs on this account. So definitely bring us back a little bit if we can get up there. It's better entry on this as well. So let's wait and see. Ideally, we're wanting to move right past all of this. Break this back down on a 50. Nice rejection off here. Everything's looking pretty positive with the overall long-term bias. We got some key levels that we're approaching as well. We got London highs from yesterday. Got daily bissies in our way, and then hopefully all-time highs. So we'll let price do what it needs to do. I'll come check in with you guys in a bit. Approaching the last 15 seconds here on this 15-minute candle. Nice reaction, respecting that bissie down there as well. Beautiful closure. Probably about 50% of the wick right there. Trying to see if there's any pockets on a higher time frame. We got this volume imbalance here on the 30, which we have just tapped. Pretty much respected this bissie now here too, wanting to see this invert. And yeah, just let the trade do what the trade needs to do. Alright, so we did just get stopped out on both accounts. which is definitely not ideal. I'm gonna have one more shot in this pocket here. If price wants to retrace all the way down here, we've got a 15-minute BC down here. If we hit here and then continue for this one, we're definitely going to blow this account. So I'm just going to run it on here, just checking where these accounts are at. So this is the one that's just been funded. I'm still not worried. I think I'm at a point now in my trading where I just get pretty unemotional about losses and things like that. It just is what it is. Part of what we're doing here. So that's cool. I'll label this right hand side, make this, and again, so we'll have our 5 lots down here looking to get in with the price action here was definitely, we've tested this so many times, respected, especially after this big down close move, falls in line with the model so nicely as well, especially on a 15-minute time frame. I thought by already wicking Asian session lows, these would be protected. We wouldn't be coming down here again, but after seeing 3 attempts on a 15-minute and we can't get above, and then this massive down close candle telling that we're not going to be looking to go higher, at least for now anyway. News in US session as well, so we might bounce off here, come back, tap, and then run here hopefully in US session and go from there. We'll just keep going as normal. And I got this limit order, so I'm just going to let price do what it needs to do. We were at this point yesterday and we still flipped it to have 8K day, so not worried at all. See you guys in a bit.